computer program. So now we can start with the coding phase, yeah. So before we focus on algorithm design, right? And in PDLC, program development lifecycle, the second step, and the second step will be the algorithm design, which you need to construct the flowchart and pseudocode, yeah. Step 1 is IPO, input, process and output. So you need to identify the process, right? Okay, now is step 3. Step 3, we are focusing on coding, coding, or some people call development, or some people call implementation. Okay, so before we can start the coding phase, you need to know the basic first. So that's why the title is a basic element of computer program. Okay. All right. Look at on the learning outcome. Okay, first you need to know the basic structure of C++. Okay. And then the concept of data type. So you need to know the concept of data type, the concept of identifier. So identifier can be divided by variable and constant. Okay, so what is variable, what is constant? And then the basic concept of input output, C in and C out. I think before this I have give you some examples on how to use C in and C out. So now we will look at in detail the concept of input and output statement. And then the last one is formatting output. How you can provide the output that based on the column. We can structure the output based on the column, based on the row that we want. Okay, right. So this is the learning outcome. Okay, structure of C++ program. Okay, let's say this is very simple code in C++. Okay, written by me. And this program is to calculate the area of cylinder. Okay. Okay, this is what we call as comment in C++. So this one, right, and this one, two type of comment we can use in C++. And then this is preprocessor directive, the one like we call as a hashtag or numbers. Okay, so this is what we call as a preprocessor directive. And then IO stream we call as a header file, kepala file. So IO stand for input output, input output stream. And then using namespace std, I will explain it later on. And then define by 3.142. So this is what we call as a constant. So there are 3 ways actually to define a constant. Okay. So this is one of the way to declare or to define the constant. Okay, whereby pi is a variable again, the name of variable. All right, and then we have main function. This is what we call as a main function. It is a must to have one main function only. And then this is a variable declaration. We call as a local variable. So we can divide by 2, local and global. So what I mean by local? When we declare inside this scope, inside this open and close curly bracket, so we call it as a local. But when we declare outside of this scope, so meaning that we can call it as a global. variable. And then this is the statement of our code. So we have we have instruction C out and C in, and then we have a formula. Okay, and then return statement. So in this case, return 0. So what mean by 0? Nothing. So we are return nothing. Actually, we can return something. Right. Okay, and then this is the function body. Function body of main. All right. So this is the detail. So comment. Comment. So there are two formats of comment. So the first one is a line comment, and second one is a block comment. So line comment marked by 2 slashes like this at the beginning of comment. For short comment, so this is for the short comment, not for the long comment. Only for a single line. For example, like this, written by. You need to put the. Oh, sorry. You need to put the 2 slashes in front of the word written, and then followed by the comment, written by Muhammad Sufyan Sulaiman. And then the second one is a block comment, marked by opening token like this and closing token like this. Okay, so don't be confused of using the opening and closing token. So the block comment is suitable for long comment, right? For example, like this, we start with the opening token. This program is to calculate the area of cylinder, and then closing token. All right, comment cannot be nested. Nested, what mean by nested? Meaning that we cannot have comment inside comment. Okay. What is the purpose? What is the use of comment? So to document program and to improve the program readability, right? Okay, and then help other people read and understand other program. So this is the purpose. So another purpose is it is easy for the developer and then for the programmer to do the maintenance, right? Let's say you have a project, and then you develop some small application. For example, it took around 6 months, and after that, when you hand out the application to the user, and then user maybe use it for 5 to 10 years. And then during the 5 to 10 years, maybe there is a new requirement and you need to upgrade your application, and then you need to add and you need to modify your application. So when you have the comment, so it is easy for you to do the maintenance. Or let's say if there is a new guy come in the project, so it is easy for that new guy to understand the code. So if you have a code, let's say only 100 to 200 line of code, so it is easy. So what happens when you have a code that the line of code is 1 to 2 million line of code? So it's not easy actually to maintain if you do not put a comment. Okay. So the comment will be ignored by the C++ compiler and do not cause any machine language object code to be generated, right? So when the compiler see this symbol, 2 slashes and opening and closing token, okay, the compiler will ignore. The compiler will not read it as a source code. It just ignore. And then it do not cause the computer to perform any action when the program is run. Okay. So the comment also can be put anywhere in the program. So this is the story of command. Right, next, preprocessor directive. It will be read first before the program is compiled. So indicated by some people call as a pound sign, hash, put another hashtag, together with the keyword. For example, hash include, meaning that to include the content of another file. Okay. For example, include IO stream. So IO stream is actually another file, another file, whereby we call it as a header file. Actually, this header file is already built for you. Actually, you can find out these header file. Actually, the extension is .h, IO stream .h. So this is the extension of this file. Try to find this file in your computer. Once you install the compiler, for example, dev, C++. Okay, and then number 2, hash define. So the purpose is to define global variable, local variable for the constant. Sorry, not local, global, global variable. Okay, all right, global variable or constant. Okay, make sure no space between hash and include. Otherwise, once you compile it, you will obtain an error. Okay, and then okay, so example IO stream. So it's the name of file that is to be included. Okay, .h, like I said, the extension file, iostream.h, indicates the type of the file. So we call it as a header file. So it allows C++ program to display output on the screen by using instruction cout and read input from the keyboard by using instruction cin. That's why we use IO stream because we want to use the instruction cout and cin. But from if you have learned C programming language, you need to include standard IO, right? Standard input output actually dot header, and then you need to use the instruction for input and output. If I'm not mistaken, printf, scanf for input and printf for output, right? Is it correct?
Yes, betul.
Okay, betul. So this is the difference between C and C++. C and C++. Okay. It almost similar, but there is a little bit different in terms of syntax. Okay. Okay, next, define. Define hashtag define pi 3.142. So this is how we can define the global variable or the constant, right? Okay, so this is the name of constant, and then this is the value, 3.142. Okay. Right, using namespace std. So what is the purpose? Is used to simplify, actually, simplify the process of writing code that use component from the C++ standard library, STL, such as input and output operation, like cout and cin. So it essentially brings the entire standard namespace into the current scope, allowing you to use component from the namespace without needing to prefix them with standard double dot. For example, you can see the comparison by using with and without namespace. So by using namespace, you just can simply use the instruction cout. But without, so in this case, without using namespace st, so you need to add std, std. then you can obtain the same output. University Teknologi Mara Shah Alam Selangor. Otherwise, when you try to compile it, you can obtain an error. So this is the answer lah. If you still remember my question kan. So I asked you during second lecture, if I'm not mistaken, second lecture kan. So what is the purpose of using the specificity? So this is the answer, right? Okay, next, main function. Okay, fungsi utama. C++ program can have one or more function. Can have one or more function. Exactly one must be main function. It is a must to have one only main function. So don't be confused. If you have another function, we can use either built-in function or a user-defined function. You can create your own function actually. We call it as a user-defined function. So you as a user, programmer as a user. So as a user, can create your own function. So it is not same with the main function. So main function is a must to have in C++ program. Okay, the old version actually of programming language, you need to start with int, right? Integer main. But for the current version, no need to put int anymore. Just put a main only. Okay. Okay, and then must be followed by a set of braces. I call it as an open curly bracket. Kan dia macam kerinting kan, so that's why I call it as curly. Curly, open curly and close curly bracket. So it indicates a block, the beginning and ending of the function. So that's the meaning of symbol of open curly bracket, beginning, and close curly bracket for ending. Okay, all statement, the function that make up a function are enclosed in a set of these braces, open curly bracket, close curly bracket. Right, and then the function body enclosed by a set of braces, open and close curly bracket. So this is your own code inside this function body. Function contains a local declaration, statement or program body, and return statement. So local declaration, for example, let's say in this case you have two variables, radius and height, and then the data type is float, for example. And then statement or program body, set of instruction of what the function or program should do. So you can create your own the appropriate instruction that you want inside this statement, program body. And the last one, don't forget to put return statement. So what I mean by return statement? Return value that's sent back to operating system. For example, return 0. Or if you not put it as a return 0, also can be accepted by the compiler. So what I mean by return 0? 0 usually indicate that the program executes successfully. Itulah maksudnya, right? Next, common programming language element. When I call it a syntax, so what I mean by syntax is a rule, peraturan, that must be followed when constructing the program. And then lines or line of code, or LOC. Line is a single line appear in a program. So this is how we calculate the amount of effort, to develop a program. Based on it can be based on LOC, number of line of code that you develop. And then statement. So what mean by statement? A complete instruction that counts the computer to perform some action. Okay. Next, keywords or reserved word. Words that have spatial meaning and used for intended purpose. Okay. And then programmer define identifier. So we as a programmer, so we can define our own variable, for example. And then punctuation is a character mark, the beginning or ending or statement or separate item in a list. Okay, for example, you can let's say you have more than two variable, you can just spread it by using a comma. For example, in this case, we have two variable, radius and height. And then both of these variable, the data type is float, and so you can put like this. And don't forget to end your line of code with the semicolon. So this is what we call a semicolon. Right. So it is a must to have this kind of punctuation. Otherwise, once you compile it, you will obtain an error. Okay. So there is a bug. So you need to kill the bug. You need to kill the bug. And then the process we call is a debugging. Debugging. Okay, this is the reserved keyword. Sorry, the reserved word. Reserved word or keyword. It is a special word reserved for C++ program, which have specific meaning and purpose. Cannot be used as identifier or variable. Tak boleh jadi. Tak boleh jadikan sebagai variable. So appear in lower cases. For example, auto, break, case, char, cons, continue, default, etc. There is a lot of C and C++ reserved words. You can ask Uncle Google if you want to know the complete reserved word provided by C++. All right, next, identifier. So what is identifier? It allows a programmer to name data and other object in the program. For example, you have a variable, you have constant, you have function, etc. Okay, you need to follow this rule. So must consists only of alphabetic character, huruf saja, uppercase or lowercase, or digit. It can be numbers and underscore. These three things. First character must be alphabetic character or underscore. Cannot be a digit or number. So cannot contain spaces. Okay. And cannot duplicate with any reserved word. So this is a rule that you need to remember until you die. Okay, please remember. And then C++ is case sensitive. So this means that capital num1 and then compared to this one is different. NUM1 and small letter num1 and combination of capital and small letter num1 are for completely different name. But please avoid to have this kind of variable the tips in order to create a variable is based on the meaning. It must be a meaning to that particular variable. Let's say if you want to add two numbers, you can have like this: A plus B equal to C equal to A plus B. The C++ can be read it as a variable, but there is no meaning. It is meaningless because actually, what is C? What is E? What is B? Okay, if you have only 10 line of code, is it okay? And you will understand, 10 je line of code. So what happened when you develop 1 million, 2 million, 100 million line of code? For example, if you want to develop if you want to fight with Mark Zuckerberg, so Mark Zuckerberg developed Instagram and Facebook, how many line of code actually? Can you guess? Can you guess how many line of code or of Mark Zuckerberg that developed Facebook and Instagram? Can someone answer me? More than one? A lot. 1 million. Okay. Actually, more than 1 million. More than 1 million. And you think when you have more than 1 million line of code, how many variable that you have? 60 million, Zami? Oh, are you sure? 60 million, Macam mana lah nak manage banyak? How to manage? So, there is a tips how to manage actually, okay, right? When you have so many line of code, that's why you need to have a meaningful variable, if you just put C, A, B, Z, D, the first time you construct the variable, of course you can remember, what happened when after 1 week, 2 weeks, 3rd week, 1 month, then you know why, then you know how difficult to manage the variable. Okay, that's why you need to make it the variable meaningful, not meaningless. Right, example of valid and invalid identifier. Okay, right. So if you just put A, it is valid. If you put student underscore name, it's valid. You start with the underscore, it's valid. Capital P is valid. This one valid. This one valid. This one valid. This one valid. But if you start with a symbol, so this is invalid. You cannot start with a symbol, right? Same to this one, 2 names. So you cannot start with the numbers. And then student number. So there is a space here. Okay. So when there is a space, the compiler will recognize it as a 2 variable. So you need to avoid to use a space. And then int. So int is a reserved word, so it would not be the identifier, right? Right, next variable. Okay. In Malay we call as a pemboleh ubah. Constant in Malay we call as a pemalang. Okay. So why we call as a pemboleh ubah? Because we can ubah the value. Maksudnya we can change the value, kan? For example, when you declare A equal to 2, right? The A can be changed to 3, can be changed to 4, can be changed to any value. So this is what we call as a variable. Boleh berubah-ubah. So the value can be changed. So that's what we call a variable. But when you declare constant, kan? Okay, hashtag define pi 3.142. So the value of pi will not be changed forever. Forever. That's what we call as a constant. It cannot be changed. Itu maksudnya lah. Okay, variable names correspond to location in the computer memory. So every variable has a name, data type, size, and value. Okay. So actually it has a size. Size, okay. But size and address, but we cannot see physically the size and the address, all right? What we can see is is a data type, the name, and the value. So this one, these three things we can see physically, but the size, the address, we cannot see it. Otherwise, you print out the size and address, so then we can see. So how to print out the size and address? Please identify how to print out the size and the address. A variable is created via a declaration. Its name and type are specified. For example, okay, integer 1, integer 2, sum. Okay. Whenever a new value is placed into a variable through cin, for example, it replaces and destroys the previous value. This is what we call as a variable, so meaning that you can change the value. It will destroy the previous value. Okay. All right, variable declaration specifies in the memory to reserve a specific space for the variable that have specific location and can store specific data type. Must be declared before the executable of the statement. Variable need to first declare before it being used. Okay, so this is the syntax. First, we need to have the data type and followed by the name of the variable. And don't forget to put semicolon as an end of the line of code. For example, integer, max item, float, parent, double text, char code, integer A, B, right? Equivalent to integer A, integer B. This is how you can simplify the code. Integer, comma, B. So this is what we call as a punctuation. Okay, another example. Okay, let's say you have variable code and then the data type. Okay, can be variable types or data type. Data type. Okay, and then the value in this case B. We store the value in memory is B. Okay. All right. And then integer I, let's say the value is 14. Right. And then long integer. If you want to use long, you can use. Usually we just use int integer. And then see the value is so many zeros after one. And then float period 14.25 double pi. Okay, all right. So this is a program and this is the memory. Okay. Right. Next is data type. So what is data type? Variables are classified according to their data type. Determine the kind of information stored in variable. Okay. So we have many data actually in the real world. Let's see, we have address, we have phone number, we have price, we have distance, and etc. So since there is a lot of data in real world, so the compiler will categorize the variable according to that particular real data. Function also have types that which determined by the data it returns. Okay, if you are using function. Okay. All right. So the common C++ data type. We have boolean, bool, we have void. We can have floating point. Titik perpuluhan nombor yang ada perpuluhan. So in this case, we can use double and float. Okay. So my question, what is different between double and float? Can someone answer me? For those who have learned programming before, right?
Is single precision and double is double precision.
Okay, very good. Right, I will explain it later on. And then integer for integer char, character, and then string. So this is the common the type that you need to know. Okay, so this is the example. If you are using void, usually you are using void during when you want to construct the user-defined function, user-defined function. Okay, user-defined function. So in this case, let's say the name of function display, and then we use void. So actually, what is the void? Based on your understanding, type of data that have no value. Double boleh perpuluhan, of course boleh perpuluhan. Double and float adalah perpuluhan. Okay. Apa itu nanti saya akan, I will explain later on. Okay, my question, void. Actually, what is the purpose of void? Still remember what is the purpose of void?
It's like using a function, but it doesn't have a return type. So you can just use like printouts in a function.
Yeah, very good. Okay, exam tak ada return value. That okay, very good. That meaning of void lah. And then integer, okay, right? We can use negative number for to store the value inside this variable num. Okay, float and double. So both are floating point numbers kan. Dua-dua adalah menggunakan titik perpuluhan. But float for single precision. Double precision. Another very simple definition that you need to differentiate between double and float. Just look at on the storage. So float is 4 bytes, double is 8 bytes. So we call it double because the size is double than float. Itu sebenarnya double. Di situ je. Why double? Because the size is double than float. Itu je maksudnya. Instead of single precision and double precision. Itu je maksudnya. Kan, but usually we can use float. We only use float usually. Okay. Right, and then this is the example. All right, next char or character. Only store 1 byte for each character. So represent non-numeric data. 2 type of character, single character and string. 2 type of character data, single character and string. So this is how we store the single character. Char grade, and then don't forget to put single quote. This one. This one, single quote. But if you want to store BASS, you need to use array. Ni nanti we will learn during the array topic lah. Okay, and you need to use double quote. Double quote to store BASS. Okay, if you want to store A only, capital A, so this is how you can declare it. Char grade. So grade is a variable, and then the value is A, and then single quote. Right? All right. The next numeric data type can be broken, can be divided to categories, integer and floating point. And then for the floating point, you can divide by 2, float and double. Okay. All right. So look at on the first one, integer data type. We can use short int, you can use int and long int. Usually we use int pun dah cukup lah. It is enough. So actually, what is the difference between short int, long int? So it based on the size, minimum and maximum value. But this one you don't need to to remember lah kan I just want to show the difference lah between size between the short integer and long integer. And then for floating point we have float double and long double. Ada lagi yang long double So what is the difference? You can look at on the size, the precision and the range lah. Itulah beza dia. But usually we just use float pun dah cukup lah for our class for this code and also for a project it is enough for use to use the float only. And next we have bool data type, boolean. Bool data type capable of holding one of the two value only, either true or false, 1 or 0. Okay, look at on this example, bool data type. Okay, let's say this is your data type, and then your variable b stored the value 1, c stored value 0, d -5, e 6, f through g false. Okay, what happened when you print out C out B? B would be 1. So 1 meaning that true. So what happened when you print out C? C and the value of C, we set C as 0, 0, and then look at on the data type is bool, meaning that is false, and then that's why when you print out, the value will be false. Okay. So what happened when you print out D? So D, the value of D is -5. Why D is 1? Why D is 1? Okay, 1 meaning that is true, right? And then E.
But dia tak sama dengan kosong.
Tak sama dengan kosong.
Yes.
Okay, so negative is true. Meaning that negative is true.
Any non-zero value is true.
Okay, very good. Okay, and then look at on E. E is 6. 6 is positive, and positive will be true. And then look at on F. F, the value is true, of course 1, again true. G is false, of course. Of course, G is 0 lah, false. Okay, the concept is very easy, like your friend said. Okay. 0, 1, 2, 3, -1, -2, -3. So let's say you have this kind of range of number. So all positive number is true and all the negative number is true. Okay, only the one and only 0 would be false. Setuju lah. So this is how you want to remember. If there is a trick question in the test 1 and the final exam, please remember this graph lah, to understand the concept of bool. Right. Okay, guys, so far so good. If good, give me love reaction. More love, more love. Okay. All right. So we have sekejap dah sejam right. Okay, sedikit lagi sedikit lagi. Boleh tarik nafas nanti assignment nanti I will give you assignment related with the programming. Now you can start to do programming. But be patient first. During the lab session I will give the question. Right, next. Shah data type. Okay, the smallest integral data type. Memory allocated for char time is 1 byte. So used for character, letters, digit, and special symbol. Okay, dah cukup. Tak berhenti lah. Alright. Okay, and then each character is enclosed in single quotes. For example, like this, capital A, single quote. Small a, single quote, 0, single quote, and then let's say you have star, single quote, plus single quote. So this is how we want to store the value in character. Right. A blank space is a character and it's a return. Even the blank space can be recognized as a character in C++. Okay. All right, look at on this simple example. Let's say you declare the data type is char, character, and then your variable A, B, and C. Okay, A, the value is this symbol. B, the value is this symbol, and then C, the value is A. Okay. Okay, when you print out A, B, and C, what happened? You can see hashtag add and A, right? Can you agree with me? Ya, ni senang lah kan. So what happened when you change the data type to int, int, and then you have variable E, F, and G. So the variable of E stored this value, hashtag, and then add an A. When you print out E, F, G, why you obtain this kind of number during the output? 35, 64, and 97. Can someone answer me? So in this case, I just change the data type, char to integer. From char to integer. But the output is different. Why it is?
It's referring to the ASCII table of the decimal value of the character.
Okay, very good. Pandai lah, Okay, you can refer to this, we call as an ASCII table. Okay, you can read in detail lah. So what mean by ASCII table? Okay, look at on numbers 35, for example. 35. Under 35.
Second table.
Hashtag.
Second table.
Second table. This one kan 35. Hashtag. Masuk dia lah. Okay. Okay. So please don't ask me why 35 is hashtag. Tak boleh tanya lah. Kita kena. So this is the rule that we need to follow. Otherwise you create your own compiler. Okay. So we just import this technology from America. That's why we just follow whatever rules provided in this programming language. Okay. And then 64. 64, this one, and then 97. This one, A. Okay. So I challenge for all of bakal computer scientists maybe one day you will create your own compiler contohnya siapa ni, Exam plus mana nak tahu, ataupun Akil minus you create your own compiler right, and then you can put whatever table that you want lah. This one, let's say this one ASCII table, okay, boleh jadi apa exam key table. Barulah UiTM di hatiku. Okay. Right, next. String data type. The symbol of love tu maksudnya UiTM di hatiku kan that's why lah I ask you to give me love. Love meaning that UiTM di hatiku lah tu maksudnya Okay. Okay, we continue. String data type. Programmer define type supplied in standard library. Okay. Sequence of 0 or more character enclosed in double quotation and okay, kita tengok contoh yang senang. Okay, let's say you want to store this value kan UiTM Shah Alam Selangor. Okay, in single variable A. You can use string lah kan and you store the value and then you see out. And then this is the output. Okay, this is how string works. So don't forget to put double quote. You need to put double quote. Right, next variable initialization. Okay, so what mean by initialization? You establish the first value. When you declare, then you give the value. When you declare, you give value. You declare, you give the value. So this is what we call initialization. Why this is wrong? Are you sure this is correct? Tax 5%. Actually, compiler would not.
Because that's a modulus operator.
Okay, this is modulus. Don't be confused. So the compiler would not recognize it as a percentage. So you need to change to 0.05. Okay, the rest is okay. And then constant. Okay, how to declare the constant? Three ways. The first one literal. Second one by using preprocessor, and then the third one by using const. Keyword const. For example, okay, ini literal. Define two ways. Okay. Ni contohnya ni. The first one literal kan. Literal, we just use the number 0.33, for example. So if you don't want to use like this, you can use this kind of definition. Const, you need to start with const, followed by the variable, followed by data type, and then the variable, and then the value can be accepted. Or you also can use like this. Hashtag define cells text 0.05. So no equal. Please don't be confused. No equal. So this is three approach that you can use to declare the constant. All right, input and output streams, very easy. So output, you need to use instruction cout, and input, you can use instruction cin. Okay. Don't forget the arrow cout to left side cin to the right side. So must include IO stream. So must, it is a must. If you don't put it, what happen? The bug will be obtained during the compilation. ENDL end of line. ENDL keyword will force the cursor to begin at new line. For example, when you use like this on 1416, so the output will be like this. But when you have the ENDL, so new line 16. There's also similar with the \n. Okay, the output will be similar with the ENDL. Okay. So in this case, we have ENDL and then high \n, meaning that we have two line, two spaces.
The basic ke? /n dengan ENDL.
Terdengar apa?
Ada beza ke antara dua tu?
Bezanya hanya dia punya simbol je lah. Output dia sama, you can choose
Okay.
either one lah. ENDL /n. Okay, we have another we call as the escape sequence. Okay, /n for new line, /tab, /t horizontal tab, /a ada bunyi. Can you try it out? There is an alert. Sound the system bell. And then insert the / character in string. The double quote. It is depend on the situation lah. We want to use it. All right, last one, formatting program output. Okay. Besides displaying correct result, it is extremely important for a program to present its output attractively. Supaya menarik lah output attractively. So to include manipulators within an output display must include the header file using the preprocessor command. Include IO manip. So IO stand for input output, manip manipulator. Itu maksudnya lah IO manip. So this is the second header file. IO manip. So most commonly used manipulator in a sit out statement. You need to use this instruction. Set W. Set W means set with label. N. How many N? How many label? How many width that you want to set? And then set field and set field character. So what character that you need to put? You want to set. And then set position. And set the floating point. Position. Let's say you want to 2 position point, 3 point of position, 4 point of position. So you can set position. You look at on the example. Okay, most system divide a page text output into 25 row. So row, baris 25. Okay, 25. And then 8 column. Column, we have 8. Suppose you want to create a 3 column of output: person name, person student ID, and person code program. Macam mana nak buat 3 column. So you have person name, person student ID, and person code program. So cara dia lah like this. Okay. Set with 15 name, set with 22 student ID, set W 23 code. Okay. If you want to skip 2 lines, you can have /n, skip 2 lines. Then this is the heading. And then if you want to display underline, you can use like this. Set W15, set W22, set W23. So the output will be like this. Okay. 15 column. 1, 2, 3, 4, 15. So this one 22, this one 23. Okay. So this is the purpose of set W, set with. Set field. Specify character for blank space in field. Single quote required around character enclosed in parentheses. Okay, let's say you have variable num, and then the value is 165.48. And then you have this kind of instruction: cout set W10 and set field star, and then followed by num. Output would be like this. Okay. Set W10 meaning that you can calculate 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Maksudnya lah. So each of the character and numbers and also the point. That's what we call it the value stand. And then set field star. So the blank space will be fill with the star. Itu maksudnya lah. And the blank space tu. Star, 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 star. 165.48. Okay. Okay, and this one is right justify kan, sebelah kanan kan right. Right justify What happened when you want to put it as a left justify? So this one left justify. You need to add this instruction cout.setf in bracket iOS double dot left. Then you can have this kind of output, right? And then generating decimal point value, precision. This one for precision. Okay. Okay, look at an example. Okay, let's say so this one without the precision. So this one with a precision. So what is different? Okay, without precision, so this is the output 123.4 and then 456. So when you set precision 6, meaning that after the floating point, you can have 6 number 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Itu maksudnya precision 6. Okay. Okay, next. All right, so this is a complete example that you can try it out. In this case, I include IO stream, CMath, and IO manim. So CMath is for mathematical formula header, CMath.header. For example, when you are using this what we call as a built-in function, built-in function, whereby this function is already built for you. You just include the header file, and then you can use this instruction POW. Apa lagi kat sini satu saja lah POW. So there is several. There is many actually built-in function. So in this case we just use POW pow. Maksudnya apa? Pow ni radius radius power of 2 kuasa 2 kan maksudnya kan Alright, and then this is the output. Okay, so you can try it out and you can see you can see the output. So of course should be similar with this slide. Right, so far so good, guys. So if good, give me a love reaction. You ATM di hatiku. Okay, so before we end the session, please answer this exercise. Identify valid and invalid variable name. This one, is it valid? Sum.pov.
Yeah.
Is it valid?
Tak valid.
Not valid because we are using dot.
Special character.
Okay, actually dot dot some dot. You can apply the dot concept during the object-oriented programming language. So there is a meaning of dot actually. That's why it is invalid. Some dot out. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is it valid? Is it valid? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
No, okay, no, because we start with a number, right? Yeah, very good. And then new ball?
Yes.
Okay, valid.
Valid.
C1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3.
Invalid. Invalid.
Invalid. Valid.
Valid.
Dollar balance.
Tak valid. Tak valid character.
Are you sure? There is an
Yes.
exception. There is an
Valid.
exception. There is an exception in superclass. When you start with dollar, it's valid. I don't know why. But for other symbol, it's invalid. Only dollar sign. Okay. Right. Second question. Write a declaration statement to declare that a variable count will be used to store an integer. Okay. Someone answer me in meeting chat. How to write declaration statement? How to write a declaration statement? Integer count, very good. Umar Hazim, okay, no Aisha, Ezam Hazami, bagus. Okay, next, write declaration statement to declare that variable initial will be used to store a character. Okay, Karo Syahmi, Nurfis Maniza. So yeah, this one, 1, 2, 3, 4. So please answer question number 3. Shah initial. Okay, very good. No Aisha, Akmal, Syahmi, Hatim. Okay, good. Umar, okay, Safia, Shazan, Nuraisha. Okay. Okay, question number 4. Write a declaration statement for the following. Temp A, temp B, and temp C used to store double precision number. And then price, yield, and coupon used to store single precision number. Ini baru belajar tadi kan? Double precision and single precision. Double temp A, okay, very good. Float, Fikri dah jawab semua. Very good, Fikri. So please remember lah, this term, double and single precision numbers. Right? Okay, I think that's all for today's lecture session. So far, any question untuk us?
Doktor nak tanya, kenapa dollar sign tu valid dalam variable naming?
Soalan tu pun susah saya nak jawab. Okay. You can try it out. I don't know kalau yang the latest version ni it can be accepted. Let me try first. Load. It's yeah, balance. Okay. Dollar sign. Tu boleh. Okay, sekejap I share. And show. Okay. Can you see it, guys?
No, sir.
Oh,
No, sir.
yes. Windows. Oh, kita keluar. Stop sharing. Okay, can you see it?
Can, sir.
All right. Okay, let's say the first one. Let's see. Say what comment dulu sini. This is what we call as a comment, kan? And then copy this one. Paste. So I open this comment and then remove the symbol. Okay. This one okay, kan? Execute. Compile and run. Okay, then you can see the output kan 3. Okay, what happened when you put add symbol? Execute, compile, run. So there is an error kan? Okay, when you saya tutup ni, open up this one. Okay, execute, compile, run. Nampak boleh, nampak? Dollar dia boleh, dia add dia tak boleh. So far I have tried. Only dollar sign can be accepted. The question is mystery. I don't know, because you need to ask who developed this kind of compiler. Okay, that's why I ask you to develop your own compiler. So when we depend from other people, so we depend on the people. We depend from America, again, US, United States. So there is no option for us. We just follow whatever the provider provide to us. So that's why we need to have our own technology. So this is the challenge for us. That's why negara Islam ketinggalan dari segi teknologi. So because we very depending from the developed country. And of course the developed country is a non-Muslim kan. Itulah masalah daripada dulu sampai sekarang. That our challenge. That's why Palestine pun kalah. Sebab masalah itu lah. We can create our own weapon, can create our own missile. Inshallah we will win. So this is a challenge for us. Okay. Right, another question. No, no question. Okay, I think I will stop right now. So for the group CDCS 2513.
253, sir.
2531A, kan? So see you on 2 PM. Oh, physically kan? See you in lab, in lab physically. All right, thank you. Assalamualaikum.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.